What's up, everybody? Judaloom here with another episode of Knicks Digest. Not gonna lie to you, was not looking forward to this episode here. It was not a good game by the Knicks by any stretch of the word. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't wanna, be some off-brand Stephen A. Smith and just be yelling and mad and upset, but I feel like Stephen A. Smith because I want to yell and I am upset and I'm furious a little bit because this was a terrible game for the Knicks. 90-107. It wasn't a Knicks game. It was a Cavaliers game featuring the Knicks because it was just Cavaliers all up and down all game. Goodness gracious. It infuriates me because I came into this game whole day I'm saying, you know what? They're probably going to lose. Cavs are a good team. They're not going to lose two at home. I said this since after they won the first game. I was like, Cavs are a good team. We're probably going to lose. I'm happy we took game one. And I could live with that. Because the truth of the matter is that's a win in the NBA. You take game one in the series, especially when you're on the road, that's a win, okay? You go back home. Technically, you have the home court advantage and whatnot. So I was happy, even though in my head I had it locked that the Knicks were going to lose. And then the actual game happened, and it was worse than I could have imagined. If we lose a game like the one we won in game one, a close game, comes down to the end, whatever, I'm happy with that. I am good with that. Okay, we lost to a team that we're very comparable to, and in some instances we're better than. We lose to them, okay, cool, it's a close game. But this was a butt whipping. I want to say the other way, but I think we're trying to keep it PG on here. This was a butt whipping. My goodness gracious, I couldn't believe it. What could the Knicks do differently? I don't know, but I know it's nothing that they did last night, okay? Brunson off 1 of 9 from 3. Julius off 2 games in a row. Barrett off 2 games in a row. Quickly, he finishes 4 of 8 with like 10 points, I believe. You'll see it when I put it up here, but don't let that even fool you because he, again, off, non-existent for the majority of the game. First 3 quarters, 2 points. In that fourth quarter, when he was playing against, the second team for the Cavaliers, that's when he wants to go on a mini flurry. Not even a real flurry, just a little mini flurry to make it seem like he had some sort of impact on the game. I love quick, but listen, you gotta do something. You gotta do something quick, okay? Because game one non-existent in 3 quarters, non-existent in this one. Like, we needed all the scoring we can get. I mean, it just wasn't meant to be for the Knicks last night. You even look at Josh Hart. He is a guy who's always got the energy. He's always got the hustle plays. He always helps put us in a better position. The Knicks could be losing. Josh Hart touches the floor. His plus minus is always going to be in a plus. He had the worst plus minus in the game last night, minus 29. I haven't seen that in any of the games he'd had for us so far since he's been traded. Minus 29 for Josh Hart. He'll get a little slack because I know he's playing through an injury. He tweaked that ankle, soldiered on, and said, you know what, I'm going to play anyways. And I respect it. It's playoff basketball. I feel like I can help my team, so I'm going to play through this pain. I don't know if you should have did that, big fella. I don't know if you should have did that because minus 29, that's nasty. That's nasty work. Big Josh Hart fan. Would love to see him healthy. Love to see him on the floor. Even with the minus 29 next game, I'm still hopeful he does play. But I don't know, man. Minus 29 is crazy. It's crazy. Minus 29 is crazy. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was the ankle because at the same time he didn't look as explosive. The hustle plays weren't quite there. He wasn't as active on the glass on defense as he usually is. But it's still tough to swallow. Even though he has that excuse, it's still tough for me to say, okay, at least this is why it happened. I don't find no comfort in the fact of it. And you know what? For honestly, Julius Randle, same thing, he didn't look great game one. He came out firing, had a great 16 points in the first half, and then kind of disappeared for the rest of the game. And then in this game, it was just bad. No real, he looked good in the first or the second or the third, just bad. I'm pretty sure that ankle, not 100% right now. But again, another case where he's like, I'm the guy for my team. I need to be on the floor and put us in the best possible position to win. Game one, it works out. Game two, not so much at all. I mean, Julius, if you're not 100% and this is the effort we're going to get, I don't know if it's necessarily helping at this point, because you were very inefficient. You did score 20 plus points, but the amount of shots it took you to get there, crazy. I mean, I was so upset. I was at work and I literally just walked out of work with my manager right there. We're watching the game and it's like, yeah, I didn't need this negativity, and I don't need this negativity. What are the Knicks doing to me? It's crazy that I can psych myself out and I confidently say, unfortunately it was confidently, that we're going to lose the second game. And I still can't fathom it being as bad as it was last night. Like, this is crazy to me that this is a team that I literally just said is going to win this series in 6, because now I'm back on the Cleveland side of things. Am I really feeling like the Knicks are not going to win this series? Not necessarily. They still have a chance, obviously. There's always a chance, right? That's why you play the game. But no disrespect to the Cavs, like, their starting five is solid, but the bench is so mediocre, and the Knicks have so much of a better bench. Still haven't seen a really good game from Mobley, and yet he's having a bigger impact. He had a big impact in game 2, at least. He's having a huge impact on us, and we're allowing him to get back in his offensive flow. And Hartenstein, like, love the guy for his hustle plays, but sometimes he just looks so out of place with the ball in his hand, and it's like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't even prep. I just wanted to speak directly from the heart. I looked at the final box score last night, and that was it. I had to finish work, obviously, but I didn't want to think about Knicks basketball after watching that game. It was so disheartening. Goodness gracious, like, I don't even know what else to say. They were just terrible. Like, that's it. 90-107, and it wasn't even that close. You're down 20 at halftime. Like, come on, man. How did I even manage to sit through the second half when you're down 20 at halftime? Some teams are capable of, going on a run, even though they're down 20, and coming back to win the game. It's not the Knicks. I'm sorry. I know my team. That's not what they do. They don't overcome big deficits. That's not what they do at all. Clearly, they didn't do it last night. Let's try and get positive with it, okay? So, we lose game 2. That's fine. We're coming to the Garden. That's not the positive part, because the Knicks are a better road team than they are a home team. Whatever the case. Am I thinking that the Knicks are going to lose 2 at home? Absolutely not. Is it possible that they're going to split? Definitely. I can see that happening for sure. After last night's performance, I wouldn't even be surprised if Cavs took 2. Probably not going to happen, but who knows, right? Where was the positive that I was going with? I don't even know. Oh my goodness. Positivity. Okay, here we go. So the way that the Cavs were playing defense last night, I'll cut the Knicks a little bit more slack too, because that was some of the best defense that I've seen in a long time from an NBA team. Right now, the NBA, they want points. Teams aren't really focusing in on defense, but the Cavs have been a good defensive team pretty much all season. And I feel like, I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched a ton of Cavs game, but I've watched enough. I'd say maybe somewhere in that 5 to 10 games range. And as far as from what I've seen, that's the best defensive effort from the Cavs I've seen this season, right? And I don't think that they can play. It's a very exhausting brand of defense. And I was hoping, they're going to tire themselves out in that second half. They didn't, but I don't know that they can play this well a defense for the entire series. Okay, so I guess the Knicks have that going for them. In addition, I mean, everybody would be off. I forgot to mention Quentin Grimes. He was a non-factor as well. But for everybody to be off for the Knicks, I definitely don't anticipate that's going to be the case again either. RJ Barrett, jeez Louise, man. Like, I really root for the guy. I was happy we drafted him. I was hoping, I said it in the last video, I think, I was hoping that, you know, he didn't really show out during the regular season because he was saving it for the postseason, and this was going to be his coming out party. I'm still holding out hope for it, but man, if you don't, every time I see RJ on the floor, I can't help but think now, please take him off. Get Hart on the floor, get Quickly on the floor, please, anybody but RJ at this point, because my man, stop shooting threes. Please stop shooting threes. You're so much better when you put your head down, go to the basket, and get a higher percentage shot. Please stop shooting threes. It's not your forte. You're not good at it at this point. Work on it on the off season. Maybe try again next season. The rest of this season, the rest of this postseason, focus on getting shots that you know you can make. I don't know that you can consistently hit three-pointers. Even on wide open three-point shots, you're not consistent enough to make them. So I don't want you taking contested threes. I don't want you taking the ball. I said this in the last one, and it just keeps happening. I don't want you on a fast break with the ball in your hands. If you're the guy that's open and they're passing it to you, great. But I don't want you saying, I'm going to finish this fast break 2-on-1 opportunity on my own. Like RJ, I just want something out of RJ because right now we're getting nothing. Quickly, I already mentioned it, but Quickly, you're my guy too. Sixth man of the year. Been on that boat all season. But I need you to step up because right now it's like you might as well not be playing, my boy. Come on. Where are you? Are you here? Is the moment too big for you? What is happening? Like, as a whole, we're just looking bad. And you know what? Here's some more positivity. We were so bad, I don't think we can play any worse. That's good, right? That's really good because that's as bad as it gets. And it was a blowout, okay? The 17 points makes it look nice, but we were down by as much as 29, okay? But we were so bad, we have no choice but to play better, okay? And again, no disrespect to the Cavs, but come on, man. Danny Green is not the Danny Green that he used to be, number one. And number two, again, I mean this with no disrespect. These are all guys, if I ever played them one-on-one, I would probably go scoreless. But I'm sorry, Danny Green is not a guy who should be keeping up with us, all right? He's got like 14 years in the league. Even at his best, he was a 3-and-D kind of guy, and the D was always kind of, in my opinion. And now he's supposed to be guarding our best players for the entire game, and we're not taking advantage of that. C.D. Osman, come on. He's barely giving the Cavaliers anything on offense. And, you know, Jalen Brunson, you're just so much faster and more explosive than him. And yet, here we are pretending, going along with their game plan that we'll let C.D. Osman guard our best player potentially for the entire game, and we can't get Brunson to give us a 30-piece or 40-piece. Brunson should be abusing CD the entire game. All right, the Cavs should be rethinking their strategy of putting CD on Brunson. Brunson can get past him with ease. I get it. They blitz Brunson once he crosses half court every time, forcing him to give up the ball. But usually it's like it's 2-on-1, right? So there should be an open man. And how is it? We're just never able to find the open man. And then even when we do, we can't capitalize with an easy basket. It's just so infuriating. Like, I don't get how this defense is working because, I mean, I get it, but I don't get it because, yes, for every action, there's an adverse reaction. And it just seems like that adverse reaction from the Knicks on the offensive end when the Cavaliers go into their defensive sets, the adverse reaction just isn't matching up, all right? If you get blitzed by two guys, somebody is open. That's an open shot, an open layup, whatever the case may be, but the Knicks aren't capitalizing on that. I get it. You have the Twin Towers. It's not really a Twin Towers. That's a San Antonio thing, but, you know, people have been labeling Allen and Mobley the new Twin Towers or whatever. I don't quite like it. But whatever. They're a formidable pair, don't get me wrong. But this good to just stop us? And like, the Knicks are primarily a score in the paint type of offense. And it just seems like all that is gone out the window because of these two. I'm just not buying into that, you know. I'm not gonna sit here and say I have the answers as far as what the Knicks should do to overcome the Twin Towers, but I'm saying they shouldn't be stopped. As an NBA team, you shouldn't be stopped by two players. Like, give me a break, please and thank you. I don't want to go on a spiel here, but man, it's just tough being a fan of this franchise sometimes. And I said it a couple videos ago, you know. I don't know if it posted, but whatever. Point being, I'm not happy, you know. Like, I'm happy they made it to the playoffs, but I'm not content that we made it to the playoffs. It's not gonna be like, oh, we made it to the playoffs, I'm okay if we lose, that's it. I want to see like some actual wins, some real progress. I'm being a little bit ungrateful because this is progress. We're ahead of the curve. Shouldn't have been here. Nobody had us in the playoffs, and yet we're here. And again, I've said in multiple times, I don't think the Knicks are winning a championship this season. But getting past this first round, I feel like that should be the bare minimum for them. Like, you beat this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Beat them all season, right? I know playoff basketball is different from regular season basketball, but still, they should not be beating you like this. They should not be giving you 29-point leads. They should not be giving you buckets at will. And hey, the Knicks are, again, supposed to be a good defensive team. How is it Darius Garland just lights us up in that first half and we have zero answers for it? This is what annoys me the most about the Knicks being a defensive team and Tom Thibodeau, a defensive-minded coach. How is it that all these, like, I've been complaining about our three-point defense for a long time, but how is it that one player can just consistently carve us up and there's no adjustments being made? I guess it's the adjustments. Where are the adjustments from Thibodeau, you know? Mid-game, in between quarters, halftime, this guy's doing this and that. Well, you know what? Maybe shut up, because second half he didn't. No, I won't shut up, because it's not that he didn't score in the second half. It's just he didn't have to, because they were already beating us by so much, and he was more focused in the second half on getting his teammates more involved, and then didn't play at all in the fourth. So no, not giving the Knicks any credits. Adjustments were not made, because in game one, you know what? That one I live with, because it's Donovan Mitchell, and he's, you know, superstar, cusp of superstardom in the NBA. Those kind of guys, you can only hope to slow him down. You're not going to stop him. But Darius Garland, great player, not a superstar. Why is he carving us up like this? I love that we restricted Donovan Mitchell's touches and Donovan Mitchell's points, but I'm not so sure it's so much what we did as it was Donovan Mitchell just kind of saying, you know what, I see that you're cooking right now, so I'm going to let you take over this game and I'll take a back seat, right? But we just can't have one person going off every game and we do nothing to address it, and we kind of just say we're going to live with it and see if we can outscore them, okay? After last night's game, I'm just not confident in anybody scoring, all right? But again, I want to go out on a positive note. It was a bad game for everybody. So again, no way to go but up. I am still upset over this. But it's a game, right? It's basketball. I'm not going to carry it with me any further. I've said what I had to say. Hopefully they come out with a much better effort in this next game. Next game is going to be on Friday, okay? Let's go. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you next time.